and welcome to the Business Debate. I'm Jenifer Johnston and today we're discussing the property market. For almost 20 years, Grant Property has been helping clients from the UK and all around the world invest in residential property within the UK. The company provides a one-stop shop for sourcing, renovating, furnishing and the ongoing management of properties. Their clients range from private individuals through to large institutions. To discuss the relative merits of the residential property market, we're joined by its CEO and co-founder, Peter Grant. Hi Peter, welcome to the London Stock Exchange studios. Firstly, Peter, can you please explain the difference between the residential and the commercial markets?
In the UK, property divides itself along the two lines you're describing there. So commercial property and residential. Commercial is hotels, shops, offices as a general rule, sometimes also student halls of residence. And residential is houses which are bought or rented, as it were. What's interesting about the commercial market or the commercial sector is that it's dominated by property funds, and there are hundreds if not thousands of property funds into which you can invest. Residential, on the other hand, has almost no property funds associated with it at the moment, and because of that the private investor is the key person at the moment within the residential sectors. But I think the other thing that underpins housing is that it's very, very well documented that there's a shortage of housing in the UK. And successive governments have failed to tackle it and build sufficient stock. So underpinning everything is, a shortage of supply and ever increasing demand, both for actual properties to own, but also from a rental point of view. And the rental market's obviously very important to look at as part of, the evaluation of the asset class, if you like.
So what exactly does Grant Property offer investors?
Well, we try and offer a complete one-stop solution, if you like. So a client, whether they're based in London or New York or Dubai or Hong Kong or Singapore, can basically invest in UK residential through us. So we source the right kind of properties, we renovate them, we furnish them, and we do the ongoing management. So it's a one-stop shop effectively, and that's really born out of our own experiences of being an investor. So we've tried to create a company which is very investor friendly, and so big focus on occupancy, big focus on buying the right kind of property that gives the biggest return, and structuring it in the right way to make sure the investment works in the best possible way. And by using us, clients should almost certainly be able to save time, and will certainly save money because of our economies of scale and know-how. We've done it 2,000 times across 12 cities in the UK, so we kind of have learnt all the lessons along the way.
And what about the larger institutions?
Yeah, we've helped over the last 20 years clients invest in one property, and we've helped build two £100 million funds with an institution. And in both cases we take exactly the same approach, which is to look at the location first and foremost, and the investment as an individual investment, and to build it from there.
So how do you see this market developing over the medium to long term?
I think the past will be a good guide for the future. There's a shortage of supply in the UK of houses being built, and there's a shortage of supply of rented accommodation, very well documented. So I think house price growth will continue at the long-term average of 7% per annum, which throws off, structured correctly, a 28% return per annum. I think rental demand will continue to grow, and rental rents themselves will continue to rise. This year alone, they seem to have gone up by about 10%, which is a huge growth in 1 year. I think property funds will become a much more prominent feature in the residential sector in the next 3 to 5 years. And I think that would be a good thing, because then people have got the ability to either invest directly, which many people would prefer, but equally if their preference is to invest through a vehicle and be very hands-off, then they'll be able to do so as well.
Peter, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you indeed.